Welcome to another Ask Dan episode. So today's going to be an epic topic. One of my, I don't really talk about weight gain or muscle gain sort of topics at all. So based on a request from some feedback that I got, it's great to always gain some muscle during any transformation. But I thought, you know what, let's just bring it to the team and see how we're going. Basically, what I want to talk about is the difference between weight gain and muscle gain, first of all, how I think you should be doing it, and the different types of programs or services that I offer for anyone who wants assistance in the online space or the offline face-to-face space. So first of all, obviously weight gain. So by weight gain, we're referencing numbers at this point in time. So you look down at the scale, you might be a little bit too skinny or you might just be a little bit underweight, and you need to gain 3, 4, 5 kilos depending on what it is before your BMI or your body fat or whatever it is, the integer that you're looking for, the measurement before you get to normal. So that's weight gain. Next thing's muscle gain. Obviously, you can look down at the scale, but you want to see your overall complexion. You want to get some gain strength, and you still want to look great and not have that fat, but you've also just gained a lot of muscle. So first of all, with weight gain, obviously there's got to be a calorie surplus into the mix. Now, with calorie surplus, what I mean is it's nutrition at that point. So if you're eating at the 3 fundamental rules, so if you're eating less than your TDE, or if you're eating at a mine or less than 10% of your maintenance calories, then you're at a deficit, which means your body is using fat as fuel source, hence why you're losing fat and you look toned and shredded, as you hear people say, shredded or ripped or whatever it may be. Secondly, if you're eating calories at a maintenance level, then you have basically will remain the same. Hence why it's maintenance. You're maintaining your existing physique, you're maintaining your existing lifestyle, and that's what it's all about. But now today's topic is the weight gain section. So how obviously that's a calorie surplus, which means you're eating more, you've got more energy than what your body's burning. So therefore your weight is going to jump up. Now that's the weight gain component. Now I've got different methods and techniques where I can implement lean gains, as I call it. So you're gaining as close to pure muscle as possible through nutrition. So now what that means is that on big heavy days where you're pushing a lot of weight, and depending on your timeline or your goal or your deadline, or how we structure the program, is depending on how aggressive we go with the surplus. Now usually I'll do 10% surplus on ancillary muscles, so like your biceps, your calves, abs, and rear delts and that sort of stuff. But then on the massive major muscle groups, so like your legs or your back or your chest, I'll hit up and do a calorie surplus of 20%. On the days that you're resting, I'll either bring the calories down to minus 10% or maintenance. Reason for that is I still want you to maintain that level of leanness, or that body definition, or you still want to be quite lean as you're increasing your weight and increasing your strength, because majority of the time you actually want to be gaining muscle. You don't nobody really wants to be gaining fat unless that's their actual goal. So guys, just quickly a recap on that statement is your nutrition should be your starting point. First of all, you would get your goal mindset in order, and figure out, I want to gain weight. Is it actual weight that I need to gain because I'm severely underweight, or is it muscle that I want to gain? Once you figure that, the next step would be your nutrition. And you first of all need to work out obviously what your maintenance is. Have a look at how your weight is. Your weight really changing throughout the week? Is it fluctuating? Spend about half an hour with a coach or whoever it may be, just to talk about what like a lifestyle assessment. Guys, I'll do lifestyle assessments as well. Reach out. I'm more than happy to do one for you. And basically that'll determine exactly how your lifestyle looks, what we need to do, and how much surplus is going to get you those results. Now that's just the second piece of the puzzle, and obviously the final piece, your training regime. Now, I always tell my clients, whether it be male or female, when you're working with compound movements and you're working with major muscle groups, so your chest, your back, your legs, I always recommend doing 4 to 6 repetitions on really, really, really big movements. So bench press, squat, deadlift, all those massive, massive high risk movements, I'll call them, that everyone really talks about. Why that is so important is because it's a compound movement, because it requires more than one joint to work at the same time. So you're engaging more than one muscle. Now, you always want to be at a calorie surplus, whether it be 10, 15, 20%, whatever it is, on a day like that, because you need to have enough energy to push past, resistance barriers. So what a resistance barrier is, if I was lifting 10 kilos, if I was, for example, bench pressing 10 kilos yesterday and I was at a deficit, my body's already trying to use fat as a resource for energy. But now, because I've got this extra energy, I should be able to push past that 10 kilo limit. So I might be able to push, initially I'll be pushing 10 kilos at 12 repetitions. I theoretically should be able to do 15 at 8 repetitions, or, pick a weight that I'm really, really happy with and then just stick to that. And what that's going to enable me to do is tear a lot more muscle, stay lean, and also build new muscle. Now, with weight gaining and muscle gains, the fourth and the most critical element to the puzzle is sleep or rest. You don't need to be in the gym 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, surviving on 2-3 hours of sleep. What you need to be doing is the complete opposite. You actually need to be having your 45-minute maximum to an hour inclusive of cardio if you choose to go down that path. But then you need to be having a good 6 to 7 hours of sleep, because what happens is during that sleep phase, that's when your body's actually using the nutrition that you've got in your body, forcing blood to carry nutrients to the muscles and the fibers that are torn to repair the muscle and replenish the torn fibers. That's the most important element, just as important as every other element, but without it, you will not see results as quickly. So guys, to summarize that statement is, you need to change your routine to not be pushing a lot of repetitions. What you want to be aiming for is 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 at most, and just keep the tempo of the actual rep themselves 3 to 6 seconds. So what that means is, usually you push out a repetition, quite quickly. What I want you to do is just double the amount of time it takes you to push up and double the amount of time it takes you to push down. And what that's going to do, it's going to tear more muscle fibers. It's also going to engage ancillary fibers that you think are engaging during a fast workout. But tearing those gives you that overall 3D stability, and it'll also give you improvements with you will also get mobility and all these other benefits. And people really neglect and don't spend time on tearing ancillary muscles and ancillary muscle fibers. Just switching around that mentality and that workout, you'll see massive results straight away. That's for the strength training component of the program. Now, guys, like I said, keep progress. Like I said, the nutrition needs to be on point. Your mindset, first of all, you need to clarify whether it's just weight you want to gain, or if it's just if you just want a lean gain, so you want to gain muscle but maintain a lean sort of a body without gaining any fat. That's usually the most popular choice, but it's usually the most difficult to get accustomed to, because there's so much nutrition dynamic changes. But obviously, when you the first 10 days, like I've said in previous webinars, is all it takes for the body to pick up or drop a habit. If you can stick to it for 10 days, you'll get the hang of it and you'll start to see massive results straight away. And that's guaranteed, guys. I've done it multiple times in the past, where throughout the summer, I try to maintain like a clean, lean physique, semi-athlete looking, semi-normal looking. But then come end of summer or even midwinter, I'm already on a lean bulk, because my body needs to refuel and replenish, and all those torn muscle fibers and, being at such a deficit for so long can be detrimental. So in summary, guys, nutrition. Also, one more thing, progress photos and measurements are key. If the numbers on the scale aren't going up and you're measuring yourself and, your shoulders have grown or your legs have grown, that could be still a good indicator of you gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. So that's exactly what we want to be achieving for a lean gains program. So guys, nice and quick tonight. I hope it's epic value. And for the client that asked me to talk about muscle and strength gains and weight gain, I hope that answers all your questions and the questions that you had. Again, guys, it's a community because we all have a bunch of questions. We want to have a laugh. You hear my clients say, I say to them all the time, start with a smile, end with a smile. If you bring that mentality to the table, I guarantee you any sort of health and fitness challenges, roadblocks and questions, and everything will just be better. It'll just be a better process, and you'll just end up loving it and sustaining it for life. So guys, I'm not going to take up too much more time on your Wednesday night. Epic value coming up soon. Obviously, Christmas time, everyone's in the Jingle Bell season. So there's going to be a couple of programs that are going to be going out at half price, and 35-day Dan's just going to have a revamp as well. So for those of you who missed the 35-day Dan last 35 days, the next one's about to come out. I think it's about mid-November. So just keep your eyes out and ears open on my stories. So Instagram, anyone on the social medias, check us out. Also keep an eye out on the website. I'm constantly adding some free resources to there. So, it might be some summer workouts or, like a recipe or whatever. So check it out, oneteamhealth.com.au, guys. until Saturday, actually. Stressless Saturday is going to be a big topic. So have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.